What's a hobby someone can have that is an immediate red flag? Story 1. There was a post of a guy that was angry at his mother because her hobby was to find random people on the net, find everything about them, and message them about it. My name is Betty. You don't know me. I'm a stranger on the internet. I know you work at Big Mike's Pizza 5 days per week. You have a dog named Muffin. You celebrated your 19th birthday last week. You don't have a girlfriend right now. You like corn. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you, but just wanted you to know. You live on Maple Street. Gentlemen, by the end of this meeting, you will all refer to me as Betty, followed by weird freaking laughing. Man, I miss Kung Pao. I should watch it again. Chicken go cluck cluck, cow go moo. Pig go oink oink, how about you? We trained him wrong on purpose, as a joke. It all started when an episode of 30 Rock inspired her to Google herself. What's a hobby someone can have that is an immediate red flag? She was amazed at how many details she found, and a little disturbed. She told all her friends and family the next chance she had. Everyone needed to know how much information about themselves that's just there for anyone to find on the internet. A few days later, she thought, I'd better check up on my sister and make sure she doesn't have too much information on the internet. So she Googled deep into the night. Her sister was surprised by how much information she'd found. She decided then and there that she had better look up to everyone she loved for their protection. Who knows what kind of creep could find this information? From there, it snowballed. Googling everyone she loved and telling them about it took a week and a half. She had trouble sleeping the next night. Addiction had set in. Next, she looked up everyone she knew. She felt more and more powerful with every new person she investigated. She started seeing patterns and could predict many of the hobbies and habits of new people based on some of the first facts she found. She started testing this by hypothesizing about people on the street. That Amazon delivery driver looks like he has 2 kids and a medium-sized dog. That woman buying zucchini probably drives a motorcycle on Sundays. She got better and better. Soon she'd investigated everyone in her town. She knew who'd been to the waiter's wedding and which of them were too drunk to remember much after the ceremony. She knew which kindergartner had hurt himself last week. His uncle really shouldn't be posting that. But when she'd called him to tell him that, he didn't take her words of advice. He just yelled at her. Some people were so ungrateful. That's when she started looking into the lives of people on the internet chosen at random. There are so many of them. Her work will never be done. This summer, digital footprints will chill your soul, but also warm your heart. My email got hacked once a few years back. I got a notification that my phone number had been changed to such and such. I quickly wrote down the phone number and searched for it on Facebook. I ended up staying up all night, finding everything I could about this person. Took screenshots for evidence and sent them to his mother the next day. An hour later, I got a phone call from his mother. It's this kid, crying on the phone, apologizing. I like to think I made an impact on that kid's life, so I might message him. Update, he is a doctor now. When I spoke to him when he hacked me, I asked him what he's doing with his life. He was 17 at the time and wanted to be a doctor. This is the reason I did nothing with the evidence I had. I had everything. His Facebook, family names, his address, his YouTube account, Steam account, his League of Legends account, and his friends' same accounts. I had some random guy with a similar name accidentally use my email. He entered hello, hi, hey, anyway at Gmail instead of at Yahoo or something. Apparently I have his email on Gmail and he has my name on Yahoo. I had to look him up and contact him and help him straighten it out, all because it was sending me sensitive materials. My internet doppelganger doesn't believe I exist, even when I called him and told him to update his email ID for the bank. He just blocks me, thinking I'm a ghost or something, or have no idea what to tell him anymore. Story 2. Adopting too many kids or animals, especially when you can't afford them. So, do you have any hobbies? I collect children. My poor, as in not rich, grandmother breeds or has bred everything under the sun. This includes starfish, by the way, but one time she didn't want to breed rabbits anymore, so she let them out in the wild, in the middle of winter. I'm sure they all get eaten within a day, as they had never even been outside before. I don't talk to my grandma. All the dog owners that saw the dollar signs of what fancy dogs were going for during COVID and suddenly became breeders made me sick. I knew for a fact as soon as this was all over, the dog population would be way too high and the shelters would fill up. Now, these breeders can't get rid of their pups that they were planning on selling for $2,000 each, and it serves them right. I feel so bad for the dogs, though. I purchased a Sphinx, a hairless cat, a couple years ago, who was long wanted and extensively researched. My neighbors thought he was so cute and bought one themselves a few months later, and then wanted to breed my boy with her. The answer is no. Firstly, because I had him neutered, as anybody who is not a registered breeder should, and secondly, because I'm not about to breed potentially junky butt sphinxes with health problems just so I can make a quick buck. I bought my pet for personal enjoyment and to be part of my family. I honestly thought the whole situation was wild and was happy, so I said no. I personally only really support the breeding of working dogs, or at least dogs able to do their historic jobs and with good thought to temperament. Take Siberian Huskies, for instance. Many down south have weird neurotic behavior due to not being bred for a job in X generation, and people breeding for money, not temperament. I live in interior Alaska, and it's apparent an imported Siberian versus some of the working lines or versus Alaska Husky mutts. They have distinct personalities, and even more so the ones from the South USA. Personally, I want to breed Malamutes back into the Inuit Greenland dog landrace. I'm fencing 2.6 acres to house the dogs in big fences. I have no desire to sell a dog to anyone who doesn't have a plan to work the dog. Malamutes were outcrossed a few hundred years ago. I have one mix like this and 2 Alaskan Huskies, fixed. I'll get the Malamute Inuit dog, OFA, health tested soon, 7 months old, to determine if he is a dog to breed. Then I may consider more dogs from the same kennel. This kennel, though, is well-fed, well-conditioned, working farm animals. I would like to see dogs a bit more integrated into my daily life, but it is a healthy setup. For working farm animals, that is a big mental difference in perspective to many people, especially further south. They also don't really get the mentality of these dogs and their desire to work. I'd be shocked to see poodles up here on chain runs. They're dogs needing a job, needing exposure to cold, needing to pull, needing to carry, and feel they do something. Story 3. Family vlogging. Family vlogging completely violates children's privacy. Using kids to shore up your own online presence is not okay. There are parents pimping their kids on OnlyFans, Patreon, etc. I watched 2 videos the other day exposing that people can buy exclusive picture sets of several 8 to 14-year-old girls who are prominent on TikTok via parent-run accounts. They showed the metrics, and their viewers and buyers were like 75% males between the ages of 23 and 47. Freaking insane. The pics were blurred in the expose, of course, but the pics were said to be intimate bikini pics of little tween and teen girls. Disgusting crap. As a person with a kid who didn't even really want kids even, it absolutely blows my mind how easily some people exploit their own children. Like, this is your baby. How fricked in the head do you have to be to put money over the privacy, safety, and dignity of your child? I don't even post regular, innocent family photos of my kid on social media, outside of sending direct Snapchats to her dad and uncle. I'm far too paranoid about the kind of people that might see them, even though I'd like to think I'm not friends with anyone that would look at her in some kind of predatory way like that. Dang, that just really makes me so freaking angry. When you have a kid, your entire purpose for the remainder of your life should be raising them to be the best versions of themselves they can be, and protecting them from the evils of the world as best you can, not sacrificing them to those evils for a quick buck. Holy crap. I really wish I hadn't seen this thread. You know when you think humanity can't get worse, and you're having a good day, and then you read about stuff like this, and it instantly knocks you back. Story 4. This is a new level of horrifying. I'm pretty sure it's also considered cyber stalking. Cyber professionals call this open source investigation. Sales professionals call it prospecting. I remember a YouTuber doing this in public one time. He would walk around with his phone and browse people's public pages on social media based on proximity. It's shocking how much people share. Anyway, he would go up to a random stranger and pretend to know them and talk about private things that were open to the public. It was crazy how many people freaked out and called him crazy, even though he was only highlighting how easy it was to do. I did this once, found a YouTuber with an interesting and unique channel theme who wanted to remain anonymous for safety reasons. Turned out that it was not difficult to find very sensitive information about him related to his real name, current place of work, and past. Immediately informed him about this with instructions on how to fix it. I don't regret it. He was very grateful. Story 5. Gambling. Casino dealer here, it's almost never a hobby. One of the most annoying social trends among male circles the last few years has been how so many dudes think that telling people about their sports bets is interesting conversation. A close friend hits a big parlay. Sure, I'll hear the story and be happy for him to win a bunch of cash, but run-of-the-mill bets on games and literally anything you lost, please shut up before I walk over to the tax law department at the local university and sit in on a lecture for more interesting conversation. Nobody wants to hear about how you don't enjoy sports for entertainment and can't make money for real. So you spend your mental energy on this fantasy that you'll get rich trying to pick winners of games you don't care about. As a guy who enjoys the occasional sports betting, what people who do sports betting have failed to grasp, especially the traditional alpha sports viewing audience, is that we're freaking nerds, dweebs, dorks. Literally, we are more interested in stats and numbers and charts than the game. That must be the dorkiest thing you could possibly do in relation to sports. And I'm cool with that. I embrace it. But people who act like sports gambling is really cool and people who should be impressed by it are morons. Story 6. If a person is so preoccupied with their social media that this person hasn't had time to live and communicate in the moment, it's fine if you can communicate about it and decide, but I'm not dating a person in a 3-way relationship with Zuckerberg. I would be totally fine with a person that has to have a heavy social media presence for work, but I would like to be able to set boundaries that work for both of us on it. Yeah, my sister-in-law talks about influencers as if they are her friends. I can't have a conversation with her without her taking out her phone and showing me someone she followed before they got famous. It's exhausting and honestly awful to talk with her. Her husband, my brother, has suggested she see a counselor about it and believes she genuinely thinks in her head that she knows these people. Guys, she's in her late 40s. I'm sure there's similar posts in English, but I recently watched a French YouTuber do a kind of public service announcement to his own community. I am not your friend. He was taking a step back on the weird parasocial relationships that form between viewers and entertainers. So maybe look up parasocial relationships and see if you find something that could speak to your sister-in-law. Before she stepped out of the public eye, Jenna Marbles did something similar. You guys are nice, and I like that you love my content, but it weirds me out when strangers act like they know me. Watching my content and knowing me as a friend are not the same. Respect. There's an English one named Ludwig Algren who made a relatively well-known video about it. The typical parasocial parry. I feel like this is a common trend nowadays with how influencers and online personalities cultivate their fan base to keep them engaged and make them feel like they are part of something bigger and a community. I think it's toxic, and people should really start separating the art from the artist. But this has always been an issue since tabloids and regular celebrities were a thing. Well, hey guys, this is Shepard the narrator. Please leave a comment in the comment section to build our community. Story 7. Collecting blood slides. My friend had one next to his table next to his AC unit. When I asked him about it, He gave me this weird smile and claimed it was for work. I have never had beers with him since. Surprise, motherfucker! Man, they did Dokes wrong. Honestly, they were nicer to Dokes by killing him outright. In the books, he's horrifically tortured and lives, sidelined by disability to not even prevent Dexter. Oh, is that from the books? When I watched season 1 with my roommates, Dexter was on season 3 or 4, and I had never seen it. They spoiled it a bit for me. They said Dokes discovered him, but then Dexter must kill him. It's a huge accident, and Dokes is put into a vegetative state and brought back, but he's half robotic. They joked about Robo-Dokes, so then after poop goes down and he's killed off, I turn and say, how does he survive that and turn into Robo-Dokes? They laugh their butts off at me. I think it was book 2 or 3 where Dokes gets used as bait to catch a serial killer, but the plan goes wrong and he gets captured for real. When they found him, his tongue, hands, and feet were amputated. He survives, but he has prosthetics and can't speak. Most likely got a yacht that says Slice of Life on the side of it. Story 8. Posting everything on social media. Knew one dude from work that did this crap, annoying as all hell. Unfriended when I was scrolling through, and he had posted a selfie of him on the toilet and a caption that said, poopin'. I still remember the last time I was on vacation. I brought my wife to a beachside restaurant. However, we couldn't help but notice a young woman doing various poses on the beach while there. I assume boyfriend was pretty much just serving as her private photographer. The poor dude was being asked to take pictures of her for a solid hour. They eventually walked off, but I can't help but imagine he's probably still taking pictures of her to this day. I must disagree with you on this one. If someone I knew had posts as you describe, 100% keeping that guy as friends. I left a girl one time because every time we were out in public, it just turned into a photo shoot. Not fun. She was a photographer and expected that level of quality shot. Upside is when girls ask me to take pictures now, they're usually impressed with the first couple of shots. Story 9. My old roommate used to go out driving on rainy days, specifically to splash pedestrians. That seems red flag to me. Oh, that's sad. My favorite hobby when I owned a truck was driving around during bad blizzards and pulling people's cars out of ditches. I like you more than OP's roommate. That's straight up evil. Yeah, it is. I remember taking the bus late one Saturday night after work to get Easter candy baskets and toys for my kids the next morning. Then, right before the bus came, someone purposefully splashed me at the bus stop by veering into the large gutter puddle, and everything was ruined. Some people on this planet pick up trash they see lying around, even when there's nobody to observe it. Others do what you've described. Others are the trash that need to be picked up. Story 10. Crushing Monster energy drinks and punching drywall. What did you just say to me, bro? Bro, are you serious, bro? Bro, come on, bro. What's wrong with you, bro? You want to freaking go, bro? Don't tase me, bro. Do you know who the F my dad is? My dad owns a dealership. What the F does your dad do? He doesn't own a dealership. That's freaking waff. But what if I do that while listening to Limp Bizkit? Give me something to break. How about your freaking face? Hope you know I pack a chainsaw. Story 11. I'm just going to lurk and see if people think my hobbies are red flags. Is lurking a hobby? Am I a red flag? Get 'em! Story 12. Dog fighting. Or cockfighting. You know, the bird one. What about the other one? Story 13. I'm just really into Hitler. No, I love him, not just his outfit. Please leave your stories in the comments. I'd love to make a video of them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.